What if I told you that the planet we call home is getting hotter every year, not just a little warmer, but warm enough to change weather patterns, melt glaciers, raise sea levels, and threaten ecosystems around the world? The phrase, "the Earth is heating up, and we are all going to die," is dramatic, but it reflects a real fear that many people have about climate change. The truth is more complex. Humanity is facing a serious challenge, but the future depends on the choices we make today. Earth's climate has changed throughout history, but what is happening now is different, because it is happening much faster than natural climate cycles. Scientists have found that human activities, especially the burning of coal, oil, and natural gas, are releasing massive amounts of greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. These gases trap heat from the sun, creating what is known as the greenhouse effect. Carbon dioxide is the most well-known greenhouse gas. Every time we drive gasoline-powered cars, fly in airplanes, generate electricity from fossil fuels, or cut down forests, more carbon dioxide enters the atmosphere. Forests normally absorb carbon dioxide, but when trees disappear, that natural protection is reduced. The effects of a warming planet are already visible. Heat waves are becoming more frequent and more intense. Some regions experience record-breaking temperatures that make daily life dangerous. Wildfires burn across forests and communities, destroying homes and wildlife. Heavy rainfall causes floods, while other areas struggle through severe droughts that damage crops and reduce water supplies. The oceans are also changing. They absorb much of the excess heat produced by global warming. As ocean temperatures rise, coral reefs become damaged through coral bleaching. These reefs support thousands of marine species, so their decline affects entire ecosystems and the people who depend on fishing for their livelihoods. Melting glaciers and polar ice sheets are another major concern. Ice in Greenland and Antarctica is disappearing faster than before, adding more water to the oceans. Rising sea levels increase the risk of flooding for coastal cities and island nations. Millions of people may eventually need to relocate if their homes become uninhabitable. Climate change also affects agriculture. Farmers rely on stable weather patterns to grow food, but changing rainfall and extreme temperatures make farming more difficult. Crop failures can lead to higher food prices and increased hunger in vulnerable regions. Wildlife faces enormous pressure as habitats change faster than many species can adapt. Animals that depend on cold environments lose their homes. Birds alter their migration routes. Marine species move toward cooler waters. Some plants and animals may disappear entirely if they cannot adjust quickly enough. Climate change is also connected to human health. Higher temperatures increase the risk of heat-related illnesses. Air pollution worsens respiratory diseases. Mosquitoes carrying diseases can spread into new areas as the climate becomes warmer. Extreme weather events can also affect mental health by causing displacement, loss, and uncertainty. Despite these challenges, saying that everyone is going to die is not supported by scientific evidence. Climate change is a serious global threat, but it is not an inevitable extinction event for humanity. The greatest risks involve widespread disruption, economic damage, health problems, food insecurity, and the loss of ecosystems. The future is not predetermined. Around the world, scientists, engineers, governments, and communities are working on solutions. Renewable energy sources like solar and wind power are replacing fossil fuels in many countries. Electric vehicles reduce emissions from transportation. Energy-efficient buildings consume less power. New technologies are making clean energy more affordable than ever before. Protecting forests is another important solution. Trees absorb carbon dioxide and help regulate local climates. Reforestation and conservation projects are restoring damaged ecosystems while supporting biodiversity. Individuals also have a role to play. Conserving electricity, reducing waste, recycling, using public transportation, planting trees, and supporting sustainable products all contribute to lowering emissions. While one person's actions alone cannot solve climate change, millions of people making better choices together can create significant change. Governments play an even larger role. Policies that encourage clean energy, reduce pollution, improve public transportation, and protect natural habitats are essential. International cooperation is equally important because climate change does not recognize national borders. Young people around the world have become powerful voices for climate action. They understand that today's decisions will shape the planet they inherit tomorrow. Their activism has encouraged businesses and political leaders to pay greater attention to environmental issues. Technology continues to provide hope. Scientists are developing better batteries, cleaner industries, carbon capture systems, and more efficient farming methods. Innovation can reduce emissions while allowing societies to continue growing and improving living standards. However, time matters. The longer greenhouse gas emissions continue to rise, the more difficult and expensive it becomes to reduce future damage. Every fraction of a degree of warming increases risks to people, wildlife, and ecosystems. Acting sooner gives humanity a better chance of limiting the most severe impacts. Climate change is not just an environmental issue. It is an economic issue, a health issue, a security issue, and a humanitarian issue. It affects where people live, how they work, what they eat, and the quality of life they experience. The story of climate change is not only about danger, it is also a story about human ingenuity, cooperation, and responsibility. Throughout history, humanity has overcome enormous challenges through science, innovation, and determination. Climate change demands that same level of commitment. The Earth is heating up, and the evidence is clear, but fear alone will not solve the problem. Knowledge, action, and cooperation offer a path forward. The future is still being written. Every nation, every community, and every individual has a role in shaping what comes next. The question is no longer whether climate change is happening. The question is whether humanity will act quickly enough to protect the only home we have. The answer depends on all of us.